go. Yeah, I love this game. I kinda wish we got more of this stuff, you know?
Rangers report to the emergency staging area for immediate transport.
Holy shit. You want to be a heroic anime firefighter, don't you? Of course you do. And that's just one reason why I say with some conviction that Burning Rangers is a game very deserving of a remake. I am sort of burying the lead there, I guess. This game already kinda has a remake, courtesy of the very talented and very generous Andreas Scholl, and said remake is what you are seeing here. Let's talk premise then. Who are these Rangers and what are they burning? Released in 1998 for the Sega Saturn, Burning Rangers is a third-person action game with a pretty unique idea for the time. Basically, you join a team of superpowered firefighters going on missions, doing sick flips and saving lives in a very cool looking near future metropolis. Think something like Astral Chain or Blue Stinger, just because I want to plug it again, and you won't be far off. The focus here is on saving people, shooting the fire with water rather than shooting the people with guns. Very novel. Most run and gun games at the time were military themed affairs and saw you mowing down legions of faceless baddies with very little regard for life. I like those kind of games quite a bit, to be fair, despite their often generic nature, but around these parts, the Rangers do it different. Because these here Rangers have three pretty wholesome prime directives. Save human life, protect our future, keep hope alive. For 1998, that was pretty forward thinking. Sure, nowadays, there are plenty of games where you can be a peaceful farmer or run your own cat cafe or whatever, but non-violent games, they hadn't really taken off back then. So you choose to play as either Show or Tillis, and then you're dropped into your training courtesy of Chris Parton, Reed Phoenix, and comfortably the most Chad character in the game, Big Land Man.
A ranger can never be too careful. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, don't worry. You'll understand what I'm saying later.
You know, in an ideal remake, I'd really want to play as this guy.
Rangers report to the emergency staging area for immediate transport.
Holy shit! Gameplay is fast and arcadey, the environments are all pretty damn varied with their own gimmicks, from low-grav outer space adventures to deep-sea missions where you can ride in a damn dolphin. But on the flip side, the graphics fucking sucked in the original and the controls were annoying and fiddly. And that's me saying that, a guy that will happily use L2 and R2 to look up and down in Echo Night. This game is a bit of a cult classic with Sega kids, I think, but there sure was room for improvement, and that's why I say this remake is so very justified. Now you're a smooth shonen protagonist with nice graphics and controls. Some of that jank in the original was charming because Sonic Team, and so that's been left in, meaning that on balance this new version is superior to the original in literally every single way. Plus, it was generally quite overlooked and underrated the first time around since it never got a sequel and thus it never really became a franchise per se. Although, I think it would have done well if it carried on. Instead, the team that worked on this took their ideas and inspirations for a sequel and poured them into Phantasy Star Online for the Dreamcast. Another excellent game. I'll do another video on that one sometime. But Sega being Sega, they do like to throw the old school fans a bone from time to time, and this is never more apparent than in the Sonic racing games. I'm not joking, by the way, I've been playing through all the old Sonic games for another series of videos I'm working on. Let me tell you, when I saw this, I was just about ready to nut. It also made me innocently Google Burning Rangers Remake, and of course that led to me finding out about this here remake, which you're currently seeing. Built up from the original engine, but using Unity to make the graphics look nice and Dreamcasty and to improve the controls quite a bit. It ain't finished yet, but what is there absolutely rocks my cock. You can save civilians and backflip and firefight and battle kaiju plants, all with that smooth and good aesthetic. And you can play as Big Land Man. 2 fucking thumbs up from me, buddy. It's more than I could have hoped for, really, and it gives me a few thoughts. Firstly, if you have even a passing interest in anything I've said up to this point, you should definitely check this out using the link on the screen. But please note you will need either an original disc copy or an ISO file from an emulation site which you can then mount onto your drive. Secondly, I wonder if Sega will give this their blessing. I know Nintendo are usually pretty shitty about fan remakes and stuff, but Sega seem like a bunch of bros who might actually get into something like this. But whether or not Sega officially support it, I certainly do. The whole game is not there yet, like I said, but the playable demo is excellent, and I do check back from time to time to see how our friend Andreas is getting on. Looks like he's making pretty tremendous progress, and I can't wait to see the finished version. So, if you too yearn to burn, I can heartily recommend this here remake.